When I started my business 5 years ago, I had a vision for what I wanted it to be. I had a vision for how I wanted to set up everything. And in order to make that vision come to life, I needed to get some loan because the savings that I had alone were not enough for what I had envisioned. Of course, I could have gone differently about it and started small and then building up year after year on top of that. But the way I wanted to set up my business was that when I started, I wanted it to come to life a certain way that I've envisioned it. And for that, I needed a loan. There is this video that I watched a long time ago, maybe a couple of months ago. And it's about how you are a moron if you get a loan to start your business. Even though I would not say that it is moronic to get a loan to start a business, but it's something that you have to be careful about and that you have to analyze wisely before you get it. Before you get a loan, in retrospect of what I'm going through right now, there are a couple of things that I feel that you need to know and that you need to prepare. So I'm going to share with you 5 advices I wish I had known when I was about to get a loan, that I wish I knew before I got my loans, and that I wish can be helpful to you in your process of trying to get a loan or even analyzing if getting a loan is for you. So the first advice that I can give you if you're about to get a loan is to shop around. I mean, going through different banks, financial institutions and organizations, non-profit organizations, and every legal loaning options that are available to you. And just shop around, making sure that you know the interest rates that they're offering, you know the reimbursement plan of each option. So just make sure that you know the loans that you are getting or the loan options that are offered to you, what the interest situation is. When you're looking, not only the interest, you also have to look for the reimbursement that the financial institution is proposing and on how many years do you have to reimburse the amount that you get through the loan. The second advice that I can give you is make sure that you know everything that there is to know about that loan. If you get a loan from a non-profit organization, be very careful because sometimes, even though they are non-profit organizations, they are associated or they can be associated with financial institutions, and they are not always the best options for you. Make sure that you know what you are getting into and read all the fine prints before you sign anything. Read all the documents before you agree on something. And if you can afford it, you can also go through with a lawyer and have them, well, it depends on the amount of the loan that you want to get, but if it's a big amount, you can have a lawyer look at it for you and see if it's the best option for you. So just make sure that you know before you get the loan, the total amount that you will be reimbursing at the end of the term. The third advice that I can give you is to have scenarios prepared. This is something that I'm not going to stress out enough, that is really important, that it is something that I wish I had done, something I wish I had spent more time on, is to prepare scenarios. What are scenarios? Scenarios are reimbursement plans that you elaborate yourself or with the help of your accountant or whichever person that can help you. There are plans to reimburse the amount that you got. For example, you can have one scenario, well, the best scenario, which is the scenario that you get the loan and then you reimburse the loan according to the terms of the contract. Let's say it was you had to reimburse all the amount plus interest in 3 years, and then it's the perfect scenario. Your business has enough revenues to reimburse everything in those 3 years, and there's no hiccup, there's nothing. Everything is perfect. So that would be the ideal scenario. Have a scenario also where you reimburse the amount, but you have some difficulties sometimes. And if there will be penalties, how much will they be according to the extra amount of time that you're going to need to reimburse that amount. So just make sure you are prepared and make sure you have all the information necessary. And a third scenario that you need to do, I say it's never a bad thing to be prepared, but prepare a scenario for in case you have to close your business, or in case you are the sole owner of your business and for some reason you are sick and the business cannot go on without you and you have to close or put your business on hold for some time. In this scenario, you have to have a reimbursement plan, because one thing that is for sure, financial institution, is that regardless of what happened to you, regardless of what you're going through, they are gonna want to be reimbursed. Another advice that I can give you is that if your business is incorporated and you're about to get a loan, just make sure as much as you can not to personally co-sign the loan, or have family members or anybody that is close to you co-sign the loan. Because what will happen is that if for some reason your business cannot reimburse the loan, well, you are, or anybody who co-signs that loan will be personally responsible for it. I learned this the hard way. As you are a first-time small business owner, even if you have good credit, sometimes financial institutions, they ask you to co-sign for the loan. And what happened is that when your business cannot, or for some financial reason cannot reimburse the amount that was required, you will have to personally reimburse that amount. And that can put you in a very, very terrible financial situation where you can personally go bankrupt or have your mental health take a big toll. So just be really careful about that. And if you can get a loan and not have to co-sign for it, even if that means getting a smaller amount or maybe not get a loan, it's probably best that you don't co-sign it. And it goes with the previous advices where you have to prepare different scenarios in case your business cannot reimburse it. And you co-sign, well, you have to prepare a scenario where you have to personally reimburse. What will you do to reimburse that amount? So just be aware of that. Another advice that I really wish I knew then is to ask questions. Not to be afraid to ask questions, because I felt like when I was going about my loans, I was just so stressed, excited, and nervous. Well, excited positively, but nervous that I would not get the loan for X reason, because I was a first-time entrepreneur. Even though I had good credit, I didn't have that many investments. I was nervous that I would not get the loan. So I didn't ask question because I was afraid that if I ask question, it would make the financial institution worry and not give me the loan. There are some things that I wanted to know, but I didn't ask, or I felt that I shouldn't ask because I didn't want to scare the financial institution and not get the loan. But when I think about it, I should have asked and I should have known better, because I would have been more prepared, and maybe I would have found out that maybe the loan was not for me, or maybe it would have confirmed that I needed the loan even more, but have me prepared to reimburse that loan, or have me prepared to know all that there is to know about that loan. I feel that I should have asked more questions. I should have known a lot more, so don't hesitate to ask questions. Another thing that I can say is that just make sure that the loan is for you. If you're getting a loan, or if you're getting multiple loans from different financial institutions or nonprofit organizations, or whichever way you go about, just make sure that getting a loan is really for you. I feel like sometimes we have the pressure to get loans because They always tell you to have money for day-to-day activities and stuff like that, but in the end, sometimes you might not need it. That will only add pressures to you. Well, just make sure that getting a loan is something that you really need. It's something that you can afford in the short term and also in the long term. That just make sure that getting a loan is something that is really for you. Some of you may have gone through the process of getting a loan, and if there are other advices that you would like to share or some experiences that you went through that differs from mine, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. My name is Victoria, and thank you for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and colleagues and whichever person that you feel this would be appropriate for. Bye.